Thanks for watching the video, guys. Now I'm still trying to give away this brand new pair of Nike Air Force Ones. They're a UK size 10, and all you've got to do to be with a chance of winning these is subscribe to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. That's it. It's completely free, doesn't cost you a penny, and as soon as I hit 100 subscribers, these are getting sent to an unlucky winner. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button now, and I'll catch you in a bit. Hello and welcome to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. Me and Carl are here today to discuss probably one of the biggest transfer sagas, would you say, Carl? You know, your face is telling me a different story. Not one of the biggest, you don't think?
No, I think, yeah, when you say a saga, maybe. It's definitely not one of the biggest transfers, but one of the biggest sagas, I suppose, because it don't really make sense to a lot of people's eyes. I don't know what you think.
Well, just for everyone watching, obviously, we're talking about CONOR Gallagher potentially on his way to Atletico Madrid. I don't know, mate. I think it could be one of the big transfers of the summer. I think the reason being, I think teams aren't really we're not, unless the likes of kind of Real Madrid when you sign your Mbappe's, albeit Mbappe went for nothing, but there was all the fucking bonuses and what to go on with it. But teams aren't really splashing the cash anymore, are they?
No. But it's only been, is it something like 35 million?
So I've got it here, reported fee of 33 million, yeah. I mean, I imagine there'll be add-ons and
Add-ons.
bonuses and all that kind of jazz that seems to come with transfers these days.
But I would think that's pretty decent value for him, especially like back the second half of last season. I thought he was probably Chelsea's, if not best player. Well, after Cole Palmer, he probably was their best player, most influential, something that they absolutely needed and still need, in my opinion. And that's why I think it's a bit of a strange one, because how can you make him captain last year in the absence of Reece James and then all of a sudden sell him? I mean, I get the reasons behind the PSR crap, but...
We'll come on to that, so I think just to your first point, I totally agree. I think in terms of the fee and what he kind of brings, what he gives, what he can bring in the future. You know, he's 24-year-old. Absolutely, you know, he's got his best football. You know, you like to think he's got all his best football ahead of him. It's mad to think that he's been at Chelsea since he was 6. And like you were saying, they made him captain. So I went a couple of seasons back. I didn't want to go too far deep because I know he's been around a little bit, but he only really kind of came on the scene, didn't he, a couple of years ago when he had that loan move to Palace.
Yeah.
So he had 34 appearances that year, 8 goals, 3 assists, 2,851 minutes played. So obviously, I wouldn't say there was a lot of hype around him, but there were talk.
There was definitely a bit of it. There was a bit for a young Englishman.
Yeah. And then he come back to Chelsea, 34 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, but his minutes on the field were very much down. So 2,800 he played at Palace, just over 1,600 in the 22-23 season at Chelsea, which then comes pretty much to what you were saying then. So last season basically made him captain behind Reece James and Chilwell vice captain.
What? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Thiago Silva, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, but it just seems, and he actually played over 3,000 minutes, 37 appearances, 5 goals, 7 assists. So he was one of Chelsea's, basically one of the spine of the team, pretty much last season. And like you say, captain as well, whilst whoever was out injured.
He was the one that started the press. He was the one that put all the energy. He was when it was him and Caicedo in centre midfield. That's when Chelsea ticked, and especially the second half of the season. That's when, for me, Chelsea went on that run, and it was because of them two in middle.
It's a bit of a shame really when you think about it, because I'm not a Chelsea fan by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I am kind of a human being, and the compassionate factor comes in. You know, and you read all these stories, whether they're true or not, you don't know. You read a lot of stuff, but apparently he got told the other day that basically he's not part of the plans. He's got to, for the however long he's going to be at the club until he finds a new club, he's going to be training on his own. He's not even going to be allowed to be part of the first team.
Ridiculous. I heard something that they offered him a 2-year deal, and he said, "No, for where's the loyalty here? What's I mean, not that there's any loyalty in football, but he definitely deserves a longer than a 2 year deal. But I think they said something similar to Chilwell as well, haven't they? That he's no longer needed.
Well,
Which is,
I think the whole Gallagher, I think the whole Conor Gallagher thing spans around the fact that the PSR stuff done it. I think that's the whole
yeah,
reason why he's one that's basically they've said you're gonna have to go, mate, because ultimately he's like we were saying earlier, he's been there since he was a kid. So any money that Chelsea make for Conor Gallagher is going straight down to your bottom line figure.
but the problem with this is I could understand, right, why they were like forcing him out, which it seems like they are doing, really forcing him out.
Yeah.
If they were going to bring like a 50, 60, 70 million figure, which don't get me wrong, Conor Gallagher is certainly not that, but the 35 mil, is it really going to make that much of a difference? I mean, obviously every bit will help, of course it will, but it doesn't seem like it seems like a bigger loss to lose him than it is to need that money.
Does seem
You
a
could
bit
sell
straight.
you could sell two or three other fringe players because don't get me wrong, Chelsea's squad's massive. You could sell two or three other, even four or five other players that don't really get a look in, and get 35 million. Like bottom line.
Yeah, yeah. It does seem a bit strange. Are you surprised that any no Premier League clubs are interested in him?
I'm very surprised actually. But do you know? I think he is made for Diego Simeone. He's all about energy, running around. I think they've offered him a 5 year deal.
Have they really?
Yeah. I think has he flown out today as of Monday? Been Monday today. I'm sure he's flown out today.
Yeah, I heard that he was
Um,
going out there today to finalise everything. Yeah.
so a 5 year deal. I don't think he'll be there for 5 years. I think he'll do two or three, but I think he'll come back and everyone will be snapping him up. I think I think he'll take him to the next level. I
Good
really
move.
do.
Great move for him, really. I mean, I don't know what his family matters. I don't know whether he's got kids, wife, or whatever. But like you said, 5 year deal to go and live out in Madrid and experience new culture, new surroundings, a new league.
Stability, which Atletico is a rock.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a lot of upheaval there. Not like Chelsea where it's coming and going. It's seen, I don't know how many managers, but if you say he's been there from 6 year old, it's seen a fair few.
Yeah, well done.
So I think it'll learn masses from Simeone.
You surprised that your mob want him for him?
I don't think, as arrogant as it might sound, we just don't need centre mids. I think our centre midfield is pretty strong, to be honest. Especially when Tonali comes back, it leaves us. We're quite heavy in centre mid. It's wingers and strikers we need really.
Would you class him? Do you think he is a defensive midfielder? Because we saw him in
No,
Euros, and I don't think he is just an out and out CDM to me. I don't think he is. I think he's just an all round. He's an old school midfielder.
yeah, old school. Because what I think he's best at is the high press. He's the one that usually, yeah, you centre forward. He's the one that starts the high press, but it's as though Gallagher does that. He brings everybody else from behind him up and presses from that high up midfield. I see him like you, an all-round midfielder. He's not a holder. He's definitely not a 10. But he's not so much a box to box because he don't get you masses of goals, but he does arrive in box. To be fair, with a few chances.
Well, I was just gonna say then, it's not shy of a goal. You would go back to his Palace days when he was probably playing his best football. Got 8 goals from midfield and three. I mean, his assist levels probably could have been a bit better, but 8 goals from midfield is not, it's not bad, is it?
It's
Really?
par. It's par, but especially and when you think no disrespect to Palace, but Palace are no world beaters, or they weren't. I know they finished quite strong last season, but at the time of Gallagher, there were no world beaters. So to get 8 goals from midfield, I think it's pretty decent, really.
And he was fairly new to the Premier League then, wasn't he, as well, so I don't think it was his debut season, but let's say we were quite new to it. So
Yeah, no one had heard of him, I don't think, not really, unless you were a Chelsea fan before he went there.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I agree with you. I think it'd be a really good move for him. I think it seems to be a bit of a common thing now, doesn't it? Some Brits Going abroad.
Going abroad. British
Yeah.
abroad. I think it's only going to benefit national team.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's about time we start branching out into these other leagues. I don't see why. I think it'll do him well to good.
You think it'll improve his international
Status,
career,
yeah.
but basically potentially cement him in the England squad?
It depends. I suppose it depends on who his next manager is, doesn't it? Really, and what sort of. Because you look at this Adam Wharton, and it is Adam Wharton, isn't it? Something from Palace.
Yeah, Palace. Yeah.
It's a similar sort of positions, I think. Is Trent going to really be pushed into centre mid with Liverpool this year? With that other right back that you've got, that young lad,
Conor Bradley.
So yeah, so if Trent goes in there, I think there's a few that could go into that centre midfield. So I don't think it's plain sailing for him to go in there, Connor. I don't think it'll do him any harm going to Atletico. If anything, it'll enhance his performance for me.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said as well, it's stability, because there's been a lot of talk over the last couple of years about him potentially being part of the club, not part of the club. And I think for him now, it'd be just good to kind of close that chapter of his life, of his career, and just think, one door closes, another door opens for me. And it's a really good move. Really good move. He'll be competing for trophies out there as well.
Absolutely. It's not like he's taking he's having to go down in calibre of clubs either.
No.
He's taking probably a sideways step with the chance of still with the chance of silverware. I think it's a good move to be playing Champions League, I presume.
Yeah. You just took words out of my mouth. With Champions League football for Chelsea, they're only playing Europa Conference League out the next season. So if anything, it's a step up, really.
I mean, he did well for Trippier. I know that Trippier only stayed there a couple of years, but I know he seems dead on his feet now. But when we first got him, he was by far our best player.
Yeah, and I think if anything, Conor Bradley's got age on his side as well. Whereas Trippier, he kind of went over there in his peak, didn't he?
Conor Gallagher.
Sorry, no, yeah, Trippier went over to Atletico in his peak. When he came back, he was kind of, age wasn't on his side, shall we say. Whereas Conor Bradley, Conor Gallagher, it's you fucking talking about Liverpool right backs. he's got his best year ahead.
The only thing for me is when he says 24, if he does stay for them 5 years and comes back, with him being a very energetic midfielder, is he still going to have that energy in like 29, 30? That would be with him coming back. But like I said, I don't see him staying there for 5 years.
We shall see. But yeah, good move for Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Right, good chat, mate. Liked it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button as always, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.